Hey everyone, it's Elisa with AK Educational Consulting, and I am back with our latest video for our theme of the month, which is goal setting for January. I'm so glad that you have joined me, and this video, while I say it's for teachers, really it can apply to parents, teachers, anybody who's working with kids. But as teachers, we know that one of the things that we are asked to do more and more, especially in the last many years, is set goals with our kids. And usually, yes, those goals are around some sort of data point, right? So typically, some sort of standardized test that our kids are taking, or maybe a formative assessment that our school uses. And we talk with each of our kids. In many schools, teachers are meeting with every student individually to talk about their baseline scores and where they want to go from there and what they're going to do to accomplish that goal. And that's important. It's important that our kids learn goal setting, right? It's also important, though, that our kids understand how they can set goals for anything and not be pigeonholed into only using it at school for, um, you know, very specific data points, of which I can probably name three that, most teachers can identify with. And like I said, all of that is fine, and it's a necessary part of what we do as teachers. It's also important that our kids understand how to set personal goals or to come up with goals that are important to them. And so, yes, maybe we have goals around, I cringe even saying these things, around reading levels or math facts or things like that. But it's also important that we have conversations with kids about what they want to accomplish at school in a certain period of time. What is really important to them? My oldest is very invested in the number of pages that he reads at school because they have a million words club. Um, he works really hard on it because it's important to him. My daughter loves to read, but it's not really important to her. So she's just not as driven to kind of keep track of those things. So when we get kids invested in their goals and they get excited about this thing that they want to accomplish, and we're talking to them about action steps and how they're going to reach that goal, one strategy that we can use that is used by a lot of people in the world, a lot of famous people, business people, athletes, is the act of visualization, visualizing ourselves accomplishing our goals, reaching our goal. So, because we talk so much about different social emotional learning strategies and de-escalation and coping skills and things like that, visualization works or fits right in with all of those topics. It's a strategy that can be used in a lot of different ways. We can use it to calm ourselves, and I think I've talked about this in previous videos, by imagining ourselves in, a joyful, calm, peaceful place. We can also use it to visualize ourselves and what it feels like, what it looks like, what it sounds like to hit that goal. So athletes use this. What is the game going to look like? What is that race going to look like? And they may sit on the sidelines or by the side of the pool or on the track or wherever with earbuds in. We've seen these pictures, right? And their eyes closed. And many of them do this. They visualize exactly what it's going to look like. So I'm a swimmer. And so for a swimmer, this would look like from the moment I'm walking up to that starting block and leaning down and getting ready to dive in. The sound of the buzzer going off that starts the race. And how quickly do I react to that? What my start looks like as I dive into the water. Exactly what my strokes look like? And how does it feel as I'm breathing? And we work all the way through from the very beginning to the very end, touching the wall at the end of the race and turning around and looking up at the board and seeing the standings, seeing our times, whatever it is that we're working toward or that's important to us. We can visualize every single one of those things. And we do that by tapping into our five senses, right? So, exactly what does it look like around us? What can I hear around me as I'm walking the starting block? What can I hear as I'm swimming the race? What can I smell? And yes, you can smell things when you are underwater swimming. What are the things that I see? Or what am I focused on? What does the water feel like? What does my breathing feel like? What do I taste? We work through each of these five senses to visualize every single step of that process. Now, a swimming race is a little bit a shorter time period, right, than what it would take for us to work toward reading um, a million words and joining the Million Words Club. But we can sort of take snapshots of each of those steps and visualize. And what we know is that visualizing ourselves reaching a goal, visualizing what it feels like, and all of those things that I've talked about is actually very beneficial and can absolutely help us be more successful. So, as you're thinking about goal setting with your students or with your kids, consider this tool. What I really like about visualization is that, as I said, it's kind of multi-purpose. We can use it in a lot of different ways. We also ask kids to visualize as we're reading. So this is something that a lot of our students are familiar with. But helping them make the connection, this is the same skill, right? That we're using to visualize the characters or the setting of a story, that we can also use to help us kind of find calm or de-escalate. It's also the same skill that we can use to visualize ourselves succeeding. This is a really powerful tool because we can use it in so many ways. So think about how you introduce this to kids or sort of review it because, like I said, a lot of our kids are already kind of familiar with visualization. But I would encourage you to talk to them about how we can visualize ourselves. I think I've said it so many times now that I can't say it correctly. How we can visualize our success and how we can use that to our advantage. So take a minute to think about how you have used that in your life so that you can use that as a personal example with them, just like I did with swimming. So I hope that you'll give this a try or, think about how this could fit into the goal setting that you're doing with your students. Um, and as always, if you've missed out on any of our previous videos on goal setting, please go back and take a peek. The next few videos will also be for teachers, also some different resources I've mentioned before. So I hope that you will tune back in for the next several videos as we are about halfway or a little bit more than halfway through our month of January and our first monthly theme. And soon enough, it will be time to announce our February theme. So I hope that you'll join me right back here. I'll see you next time.